Good afternoon, King Graders. Today we'll continue on our many steps instruction for our literary analysis. We are at step 2. Step 1, as you recall, is analyze the prompt. You have broken down every word and phrase in the prompt in order to know what is expected of you, what it is that should be your focus. So now that you know that, we're moving on to step 2, which involves both brainstorming and organizing. For brainstorming, you'll create a circle map, and for organizing, you'll create a tree map. These thinking maps will really come in handy to get you focused and get you ready to write. So here we go. Please have ready a couple of pages, one for the circle map, one for the tree map, in Cornell note form. So even though we're making a big circle map and a tree map, we'll do it in the space provided around the Cornell note structure. So I'll go over the lines I made and okay. And your topic will be literary analysis step 2, circle map / tree map. Please remember to put the date, and it would also be helpful to put the day of the week there, Tuesday, to keep you focused. And down at the bottom, summary, when you're ready to summarize in class. Over on here, remember, you'll write questions that will be helpful, and here we'll take our notes. Today, that is a circle map. So, make as big a circle as you can in the space provided. There's our sort of circle. And right in the middle, we want to write an abbreviated version of our prompt. So I'll do lots of abbreviating with initials. Billy Joe Kelby's growth, G, and development, D, through, by means of, conflict, C. We'll put that in a box to keep us focused. There it is, there it is, there it is. So whenever you are at a stopping point, what should I be thinking is for growth and development through conflict. What you'll be brainstorming then, any idea is a fine idea. Don't stop yourself and think, well, that's no good. Go ahead and put it down as long as it has to do with growth and development of Billy Joe Kelby through conflict. Remember what all these terms are. Refer to your notes from step 1 if you need to. You will end up with some notes that are how she changes, so you need to know how she starts, and the conflicts she faces. Let's start with that. And I don't need you to write exactly what I write down. This is your brainstorming, but if I were to do this, I would remind myself of the 4 categories of conflict. So maybe I'll think about growth and development up here, and if it goes beyond the circle, of course, that's fine. And conflicts down here. So we have man versus man, man versus self, and then I give myself a little space, man versus nature, and less space for man versus society, because that one doesn't play in quite as much in this story as the others. We have lots of conflicts for man versus man. We have Billy Joe, herself, versus her mother and her father. And also Mad Dog. You may think of others. Versus self, again, we're focusing on Billy Joe Kelby, so yes, she has conflicts with herself about, for example, leaving home, leaving Oklahoma. She thinks there are better places out west. Forgiving her father is a struggle she has with herself. She has to decide whether she can forgive her father for the kerosene left at the sink, or at the stove, I'm sorry. Man versus nature, of course, we've got the Dust Bowl, capital D, capital Bowl. It is a historic event, so it's capitalized. We've got the Dust Bowl and all that entails, also the drought. And then sometimes the weather in general doesn't cooperate, and it's too much rain, sometimes even. So that is a good start for the conflicts. Up here then, how does she grow and develop? I'll let you come up with your own. I don't want you to be led too much by what I would write down. So go ahead and be thinking about what you would write here for how she grows and develops. How does she start? So you might even divide it in here. Or how does she begin in the exposition? What do we know of her character, of her talents, her passion, what she likes, what she doesn't like, what she's good at, how she sees herself? And then how does she develop? How does she change over the course of the story? You put in here. Again, if your circle needs to expand to fill more space, by all means do that. So one of your tasks will be to get going on this page, and I'll check that in class tomorrow. We'll also add to it in class. Next page, then I've got my lines drawn. I'll go ahead and put the topic, which is literary analysis, part 2, and this is part 2 continued, and it is the tree map. Here is our tree map. It's just a straight horizontal line with 3 branches. Remember, 3 is the magic number when it comes to writing. So this will be body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and body paragraph 3. Let's write our prompt always on the line up here. Again, it's Billy Joe Kelby's growth and development through conflict. We have to always be focused on the prompt. This is about as far as you'll get on that tree map tonight. You're just forming it. These are the branches of the tree. You don't know what you're going to put here yet until you have a really complete circle map. And then you decide the structure, referring again to the prompt. So what you'll decide, and I'm going to write it down here, is, are you going to look at 3 areas of conflict? Well, 3 areas of conflict, one for each body paragraph? Or are you going to look at 3 areas of growth and development? She grows and develops in this way, she changes in that way, she changes in this way because of the conflict. So what your decision will be, first off, is what is the focus of this paragraph? Am I going to focus on the conflicts and how they lead to her growing and developing? Or am I going to focus on how she changes and then in each one because of some conflict? And it may seem like a fine difference, but it's a real difference. So you need to be thinking as you fill in your circle map, how will I take this information and plunk it into one of these 3 paragraphs? So for example, if I wanted to write about conflicts that she has, and I want to say with her parents, with the dust, and with her not being able to play the piano, so getting burned. And that would be a conflict of, well, you could decide man versus man because her father put it there, or man versus nature because it's something that happened not because of a person. That's up to you. So if I were going to write about this paragraph that she has many conflicts with her parents and they lead her to become whatever that is, this trait, I would look through my notes, and I would be keeping notes from everybody's group presentation in a dialectical journal on how she grows and develops through conflicts with her parents. You might want to choose one parent here, mom, pa, and her hands, mom, pa, and the dust, however you want to do that. Or you could say she grows in patience, she grows in forgiveness, and she grows in self-awareness. And then you would explain how she does these 3 different conflicts. So that is your choice to come up with. And this is all that you have to do with these 2 steps for this evening. This is the biggie. Try to get as many ideas down here as you can. And that will require flipping through your book, coming up with new memories as you go through the poems. And then all you need to do for here, you don't need to even have anything written. It's just body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and body paragraph 3. And if you'll have your page set up, ready for a summary, ready to add the questions in class tomorrow, then we'll be all set. Thank you for your attention, and thanks for getting started on the step 2 of literary analysis.